reason I ended up starting was because my brother was a musician. You know, an Aussie band was really well known here called the Ted Mulry Gang. So yeah, I suppose it was in the family. My mother used to sing when she was young too, and my dad used to play trumpet. So it's sort of in. I don't play nothing, by the way. I just sing, that's what I call it.
Basically, yeah, I've played in dozens of bands. A lot of inner city sort of type blues bands in the late 80s, early 90s, and basically, yeah, around, I don't know, out of a whim, I suppose, I thought I'd develop try a new project with hard rock and just flat out up tempo, sort of a lot of whiskey, bluesy, sort of, barroom sort of boogie.
Carry on, mate.
Okay, yeah, involved in lots of little pub bands around the late 70s and early 80s, and
You was only 3 years old then?
yeah, formed a band called Boss, not inspired by Bruce Springsteen playing it and stretching it and imagination. Toured with it like Def Leppard, Iron Maiden, Dio, then heard from on the grapevine that Black Label were looking for a guitar player, so I just gave them a call, and here I am sitting in this seat. But they were very happy that I joined.
Oh, look, we're happy.
Yeah, look, you look at. We love him.
Can you edit that out?
I was a founder member of a band called Heaven, which basically got quite a good following in Australia, and we went overseas and toured with, to America. We toured with Motley Crue, Judas Priest. We worked with Iron Maiden, I've worked with Ian Gillan, so many different bands from that genre. And because I love working with Kev, we've been mates for years, and I've known Steve for a long time. Steve and I did a couple of tours over in New Zealand, stuff like that. And I wasn't doing much, so I thought, yeah, great, let's go and do it. Good rock band,
What I tried to do was completely take them back to their roots, and I cited examples like Free, Led Zeppelin. It was just like guitar, bass, drums, and vocals.
Yeah.
Dry drum recording, no bullshit, no fancy overproduction. Just great performances. Mm-hmm. And I think the guys have really. I think people who hear this product will be really, really pleasantly surprised because of its honesty.
Mm-hmm. Something that hasn't been in previous Black Label records is those big chunky vocal harmonies in the choruses that really sort of...
Yeah, well, I kind of almost invented that big anthemic chant thing like with the choir boys. Mm-hmm. We kind of developed that thing, and it became kind of part of Australian rock folklore,
One thing about these guys, they work and work and work.
That's definitely one of the things that turned me on. You do what? 60 gigs a year?
Yeah, it's like the old days.
It is, isn't it? I didn't know there were 60 gigs a year.
Tabletop dancer, I was a boogie singing man. She was the strutting the stuff off the table down in Cityland. The men all lined up to have her. I took my place in the queue. She said, baby, I ain't giving my love to all of you. Then I
really been nervous once. And that was, when we did the Rose Tattoo Angels gig at Salinas.
Oh.
I think if you don't get nervous, you're not going to play well. That's my
Oh,
philosophy.
that's a fantastic cliche, Kevin. Hang on to that one,
I will.
mate. Just milk that.
I will.
That's sensational. Now, you guys have got some pretty heavyweight mates, haven't you? Like these bastards over here, like Loaf
They're
from
very
Live to
good
Ride.
friends from the Live to Ride magazine.
Live to Ride.
Hey, how's it going?
There you go, mate.
And I don't care what you say about them.
Hey, how you
they're
doing?
Pretty good blokes. All right.
Yeah,
They're fantastic. Now, you know, Loaf isn't called Loaf for nothing. I mean, how else does he make a crust?
Mate, look, honestly, I would call them easily Sydney's best biker band. They're so in demand. They're kick-ass roots, blues and boogie. You know, like sort of, and that's what we really like about them. And there is not enough of that. There is not enough of that around.
Ideally, when the band first kicked off, we loved the American Southern sound. You know, all that sort of Leonard Skinner, Motley Hatchet, you know, Allman Brothers to a certain degree. We had two guitars in them days, you know, so we could play one off against each other. Now, if we've moved off the tangent of American Southern, we've sort of, you know, it's sort of got more, just more dirty, bluesy, sort of hard rockish.
What we write, what we play, comes straight out of the heart, straight from the head. You know, it's not something that we've sat down and gone, hey man, if we do it this way, we can make, you know, millions of dollars. We haven't done that. We just get out there. Bunch of guys have been friends for a long time. We've all been in different bands, you know, always predominantly hard rock bands, and we just get in there and we just play
And enjoy it.
for what it is. So that way it comes to you raw. It's not, you know, something that we've dollied up.
We're here with Pete Wells, legendary guitar player from Rose Tattoo. So, Pete, how do you know these retrobates?
I first, I met George many years ago. He was playing bands just around Sydney. We did gigs with them out at, I don't know where we played.
Out west somewhere.
Out west of gigs, and we used to play a gig in town in Surrey Hills. The Nomads used to run a place down there, and we played that one. And he had a couple of bands, so we used to play out at Windsor, pub at Windsor. That's where I knew him from. And then the rest of the boys I was in playing around Lowry in different bands, I think in Heaven maybe, back in the old days.
Yeah, would have been,
And guitar player in different bands over the years.
Yeah, Kev.
Yeah,
he's a great player.
And that type of thing,
Yeah.
Just to play around with other
But
bands.
the common link obviously is hardcore, Aussie blues-based pub rock, isn't it?
Well, that's what they stick to. They stick to that type of hardcore kind of rock and roll pub sort of blues-based stuff. And it's not
There's no bullshit times, kind of.
There's not too many people doing it, but it's kind of indigenous. You know what I mean? Now.
That's true.
And it's the way they do it is the Australian way, which is kind of unique, which is nice. It's totally different from an American band playing the blues, or an English band, or a European band playing it. So peculiarly Australian sound and feel and attitude to the thing.
And it seems to have a real kind of timeless quality to it too. You know, it's like
Well,
it just doesn't date, does it?
Well, it doesn't matter. The thing is, it's valid today as well as 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And you know, people still enjoy it and come and see it.
Our fans are pretty loyal people.
They're very good. They do follow us from venue to venue, and which is really good because you know, you actually think people do enjoy what you do, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Rather than yourself just enjoying it, so other people do as well.
See, the reason that we come to a pub and listen to a band that we might have heard 20 times before, a dozen times before, 100 times before, who cares? You see, what you come for is what happens here. There's something that happens only in the room as it's happening. And that's what live
magic.
That's it.
Magic.
It's fucking magic. And that's what live rock and roll's about. You see, and if you miss that night, you don't get that.
It doesn't it?
Because it only exists for that time.
That's right.
Oh,
That's
the band
the beauty
walks
of
on
live
stage,
music,
the band walks off stage, you go out with what happened here. You take it with you. And that's why,
That's the magic.
Yeah, it keeps you coming back. One of the things that's come out of mentioning those bands, the effect that they've had internationally, is it's something happens to bands here, something has happened in our growth as far as our the way we've absorbed American music and made a stand on its own. I mean, I don't get sick of hearing it, but it's almost like, particularly with Americans, but we found it even in Europe, which is really, really pleasing. But you go to America,
where you have a massive fan base, especially Germany.
well, yeah, especially Germany, but right through Europe. But the one thing they keep saying is, the thing we love about Australian bands is it's so tough. And it's because, it's the character of the people anyway. It's a tough country that breeds tough people. But to play, getting back to the durability of the character, not just the music. The music's one thing. If you're not playing the right kind of music the right way, the proper way, you know, you'll be discarded pretty quickly. But it also says something about the spirit and the heart of the person playing it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It builds playing in this country, the touring that we're talking about, the pub culture, it breeds a very durable, surviving beast.
Yep.
So you relate to people of your own kind. So the reason I understand what they're doing and appreciate it so much is because I understand it. I know what it is. I don't have to think about it, I just feel it, because it's the same thing that I do. So birds of a feather do indeed flock together.
Flock together, sorry.
Absolutely, yeah, both of those things. But you're attracted by things that you are or do, or that you are, you know, attracted to. I mean, the kind of music that they play, a lot of other bands play. And I just looked at them and thought, well, you know, nice, yeah, they did that well. You know, everyone plays the grunge, you know, like everyone plays, you know, Bad Babone or whatever, and very few people do it well.
It's kind of got to be here, isn't it?
Oh, fuck yeah. If well, it's actually here, but it sort of gets you here on the way out. You know what I mean? Okay. It starts there and it's got to go through the orbit. Yeah. But the thing about it is that the reason that there is successful, there is a durability about it, which is, see, I love anything that lasts, anything that's put down, you know, and if it stands the test of time, it means that your original belief in it is justified. You know, not that you think you have to be justified in any sense of, you know, or any way, but it's nice to know. You know, I was right, see?
Yeah.
So it's kind of that kind of feeling.
Yeah.
And I, as many times as I've seen the boys play, it's about the songs. I love, you know, most of the songs. So the recognition of the lyric and that. But what I'm more interested in is the approach. It's the stance. It's that sort of like, this is it. This is the real deal. See, they already know that. They already know they're the real deal, so they don't have to sort of push it.
And they are the real deal.
Absolutely.
They're not bullshitting.
Absolutely. And they don't have to do anything to establish that credential, because the credential's been there for 1,000 years.
It's always been a working band. That's what we are. That's what we do. Or, you know, anything else happens is a bonus. I always said it. You know, so like, I mean, to get out of the mundane grind of gig, and you're going, you know, give me a gig with the Tattoo, yeah, any day. You know, I'll support them anytime, anywhere. You know.
The good thing about that is their crowds. These kind of bands, like Tattooed Angel, their crowds are very much in line with our crowds. The way they think, and we fit into that slot quite well.
So good bands always been like pub rock bands, yeah?
Yeah.
And pub rock
Aussie
bands.
pub rock.
Yeah, pub rock bands, the best pub rock bands always been them bands that got blues in them. You know, Aussie, you know, sort of pub rock with blues rock, you know. So while it's still fun and we've got all the gigs in the world that we can do and not do, we'll keep doing it.
Got everything a man could ever need. Lose a good thing, gonna make me bleed. Find family and a real good life. Smoke screen cutting me like a knife. Windows open and the sun shines in. There ain't no healing like coming in.
you?
Yeah, sure.
Why is there a big fucking chain around the beer fridge? Is that to keep us out?